Hello friends, this is again Dr. Sudhan Sharma, and today I welcome you again to the third session of formulas and functions, and today's session will be related to the mathematical and statistical formulas and functions. And the objective of today's session is to understand the various mathematical functions available in MS Excel, and subsequently we are supposed to understand various statistical functions in MS Excel. Now, in the earlier sessions, we had already understood that there are built-in functions and they are broadly classified into 6 types, and they are categorized as financial functions, logical functions, text functions, date and time functions. You are having lookup and reference functions, mathematics and trigonometrical functions, and we are also having a category of more functions which include statistical, engineering and various other types of functions. And today's session will be actually related to the discussion of mathematics and statistical functions, because mathematics is inevitable part of decision making, and Excel is the software which is used generally for decision making. So Excel categorically provides a set of functions to handle mathematical problems, and there is separate category in the formula tab, which is mathematics and trigonometric functions, which deals and provides support for the mathematics and trigonometric challenges. Now, the mathematical functions in Excel are used to perform various arithmetic operations like sum, average, count, and different mathematical operations are supposed to be performed by various functions categorized in this category. And we had already discussed that some of the functions, SUMIF and sum product and round down, ceiling and floor, some of the functions were listed in the earlier sessions. Now in today's session we will be discussing about how to work with these functions. The first and the foremost important function is the sum function, and we had already discussed that there is a difference in between a function and a formula, and the formula is the pattern that is actually designed by the person, the user. Likewise, if you want to add 4 numbers, say listed into the cells A1, A2, A3, A4, then the formula will be assigned equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4, and this will return the sum of the 4 numbers. But the same operation can be performed by using the sum function, where we can use the sum function in the way equal to sum, and in the parentheses we will be dragging the range from A2 to A5, or we can say A1 to A4, then the sum of the range from A1 to A4 will be reflected as the result. So functions returns a value, and the returned value is actually reflected in the cell which is being chosen by the user. Now subsequently we are having the product function also. The product function is actually using the syntax is equal to product. We are using one range comma second range, and this result into the product of the 2 ranges. Likewise, if I choose the formula equal to product B2 colon B5 and comma C2 colon C5, that means I am choosing the numbers in the range B2 to B5 and C2 to C5, and this will be equivalent to the formula, that is B2 into B3 into B4 into B5 and C into C2 into C3 into C4 into C5. So the equivalent formula for the product function, if I say product B2 colon B5 comma C2 colon C5, will be the product of the ranges B2 to B5 into C2 to C5. This is actually we can use many a times for matrix multiplications. It is very much required. We will be, but there is separate function also we will be discussing in this session, that is mmult, which is specifically for the matrix multiplication. Now the subsequent function is your SUMIF function. SUMIF function is a wonderful function which is used for conditional summing. That means you specify a criteria over a range, and if that criteria is fulfilled, then only the sum of those particular numbers is available. That means SUMIF function is to sum the value that meets a specified criteria, and the syntax is SUMIF. In the parentheses we are supposed to pass 2 parameters, one is range and other is criteria. So many a times, say you want to sum the numbers, say whose value is less than 3. then what you are supposed to write? The formula will be written in the manner equal to sum if, in the parenthesis you are supposed to pass the range A1 to A9, that is A1 colon A9 and comma pass the criteria, that is within the quotes you are supposed to pass the value less than equal to 3. Now, if I chose a range A1 to A9 which is having the values say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the last I am using this formula, then it will automatically add up the value whose value is less than 3 and it will return a result 12. So, we can use this function for the practical example. Say I want to add the score made by a person Jack. So, say I am having a criteria that I need to add the number scored by the person Jack. So, there are two columns, say name and the points. A name is carrying different contestants. Likewise, we are having say Jack, John and so on, and we are having the points say 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Now, I want to select the rows where Jack is available. So, I am supposed to write the formula say equal to sum if A2 to A6, that is the range where the names are located, comma the criteria which is within the quotes is written as Jack. That means from A2 to A6 select the rows where Jack is there, and you are supposed to add the values where from the range B2 to B6. So, over here the Jack is scoring point 11 and then scoring point 14. So, and all the Jack has scored 25 points. So, the cell where you had written the formula sum if A2 to A6 comma in the quotes you are writing Jack, comma in the you are selecting the range where points are there, the result returned will be equal to 25. I hope you understand this. And subsequently we are having one more important function which is a mod function. Mod function is actually a function that returns the remainder after the division. That means when we when a number is divided by a divisor, then what is the remainder? So, over here the syntax is mod and two values are passed over here, that is the number and the divisor, and both are required parameters. And say I pass on a value as a number is 369 and the divisor is say 6, then the remainder turns out to be 3. So, many a times there is a mistake that person forgot to pass on the second parameter or the first parameter. If the second parameter is forgotten, then automatically the function will return an error which is div/0, that is divide by 0 error, because the second parameter, that is the divisor, is not passed on, as a result of which the return value will be an error. Now, we are having a matrix multiplication function, that is mmult. Matrix multiplication is a very important function, and those who are from the programming side may know that what effort it requires when we are writing a program in C or any other programming language. But the function is very much fruitful for those who are using the spreadsheet software, and it is actually an array formula. It utilizes an array formula because two matrices are, say two or more matrices are required to be multiplied. Then actually we are multiplying the two, applying the formula on two arrays, two combinations of datas. So, mmult is actually requiring the implementation of the array formula, which we had discussed in our previous sessions, that it is the formula which is required when we are supposed to perform certain operation on a set of datas. Thus, requirement of the array formulas will be there at various situations. Likewise, in statistical formulas, we will be exercising the component of the frequency formula. But we will be discussing the frequency formula later on. At this point of time, we will be discussing about mmult. Now, over here, say two matrices are to be multiplied. Say first matrix is storing the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the row wise description, that in the first row we are having the two numbers 1, 2, and the second row we are having the two numbers 3 and 4. Subsequently, the same matrix is say repeated, and we are having again second matrix having elements 1 and 2 in the first row and 3 and 4 in the second row. Now, in order to have the result, because both are 2 by 2 matrix, we are supposed to select 2 by 2 range of cells. That means 4 cells are to be selected, and we write the formula is equal to m mult, select the first range of the matrix, comma the second range of the matrix, and press Ctrl Shift and enter. The moment we press Ctrl Shift and enter, the results are reflected in the respective cells, which is a 2 cross 2 matrix, and the results will be the matrix multiplication of the two matrices, that is 1 2 3 4 and 1 2 3 4, and we will be having the results in the output. Now, there are some statistical functions. As we had already discussed that in statistics we are having two options. We are having descriptive statistics, and also we are having the inferential statistics. The descriptive statistics talks about the description of the data, and it contains various parameters. Likewise, we will be discussing about say count, average, maximum value, minimum value, and we want to find the skewness, kurtosis, or in data imputation techniques, when many a times it is required to find that is there some missing data, or the data is blank at a particular in a particular range is the data missing. So we can use various functions which we are going to discuss in this session to explore such type of possibilities in the data. But to explore the inferential statistics, we are also having the facility in Excel, and that means in the inferential statistics we are performing the hypothesis testing. We are performing different tests, likewise F test, T test, chi test, Z test, and ANOVA, and different type of tests and tools are available in the data analysis tool pack. The data analysis tool pack is actually the facility which is supposed to be activated by the user, and by default it is not activated, and in order to activate it you are supposed to go to the Windows option button, and then Excel options are activated, and by clicking on the Excel options you are supposed to go into the Excel add-ins, and when you are selecting the Excel add-ins, the data analysis tool pack option is to be selected, and when you click the OK button, the installation process starts. The moment installation process is completed, you will find a data tab onto the menu bar of the Excel, and by clicking on that data tab you are having n number of features through which you can play with the data available in different spreadsheets. When you select the data tab, you are having the possibility of using the data analysis tool pack, and when you select the data analysis tool pack, different features you can directly select the descriptive statistics option, you can directly select different hypothesis testing features, and you can go ahead. But we will not be discussing about all this, and we are supposed to focus on the fundamental statistical functions which are on into your course, and we had already discussed the count function in our previous session, average and all those things, and they are cumulated in the subsequent slide, where a data set is considered, and some of the values are intentionally kept blank to explore that how to find that there is some value which is blank. Now there are different functions. Likewise, we had explored count and countif function as a very first option. The count function counts the how many entries are being there, and it returns the value accordingly. And countif function, you can customize this function by specifying the criteria over a range. Likewise, we can say that we can write a formula, say equal to countif, and in the parentheses we pass on the range, say A2 to A17 or A1 to A16, and we pass on the parameter, the criteria. Say we want to count the values whose value is greater than 30. So within the parentheses, within the quotes, you are supposed to pass the value greater than equal to 30 or greater than 30, whatever your suitable criteria is, and accordingly the results are returned. Now similarly we can use the minimum function and the maximum function, and they will return the minimum value in the data set and the maximum value available in the data set. Apart from this, the average function will return the average of all the values available in the data set. Now to take up the missing values, the count blank function comes into the action. We can use the formula in the manner equal to count blank and select the range, and within that range, if some of the values are missing or some of the cells are blank, then those cells are reported as the return value. Likewise over here, 2 of the cells are being kept intentionally blank, as a result of which the return value of count blank is 2. Similarly, we are having count A, where all the values are available, that is excluding the blank values, and we can go for the rank option also. Now this is the consolidated view of some of the functions described in the statistical tab, which is available under the more functions of Excel. Another interesting function is in fact your frequency. It is very much required to when we are drawing our histograms, that what is the frequency distribution within which class, within that particular class interval, how many values are lying. So to solve this problem, the Excel is having the formula, that is a frequency formula, and it is again in array formula, because we are supposed to work with 2 sets of data. One is the actual data set in which we are supposed to hunt for the frequency, and other is the bin data set. Bin part categorizes the class intervals. Likewise, say we are having say 15, 16 or 20 datas, and we want to identify that how many numbers are lying from 0 to 15, and then from 15 to 20, and then from 20 to 30. Then in the bin option, we are supposed to populate the cells by 15, 20 and 30 in the respective cells. Now to create the frequency table, we are supposed to select the cells in the third column and type the formula equal to frequency, and we are supposed to pass the 2 arguments. First argument relates to the data set and second argument relates to the bin value, that is the class intervals which we are supposed to populate with. Then we are supposed to press Ctrl Shift and enter. The formula will transform into the array formula, as a result of which we will be having the respective values. Likewise, how many values are from 0 to 10 or 0 to 15, and from 15 to 20 or from 20 to 30. And this is how we can simplify the complex problem of creating a frequency distribution. And this is very much required, the frequency distribution is very much required, be it any field, be it management or data science or whatever. You will be frequently using it. In this session, you find that how to work with mathematics and statistical formulas. In the subsequent session, we will be dealing with another class of formulas. We will be talking about the financial formulas and logical formulas. So looking forward to you in our 4th session. Thank you very much.